Wow.
Welcome, everybody. This is the Losers Review Discussion. Is that what we're calling it? Yeah, that's what we're discussing. So we're just going to kind of walk through Men in Black International here. So, Corey, why don't you start out with giving me your general thoughts on what you did?
Well, Men in Black International. If you guys didn't check out our before and after thoughts,
Do it.
Both of us came into this movie kind of like, whatever.
Yeah. Meh.
Kind of meh, hands up, like,
Right.
What are we getting? I don't know. Trailers were all right.
I didn't like him.
Brandon straight up
I'm a
didn't
super
like him.
negative Nancy about this movie. I don't know why.
I thought it looked all right. I thought Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson were going to work well off each other.
Good.
And, I think for the most part, yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They were the best parts of the movie.
Absolutely.
Though,
Agreed with
for
that.
sure.
Yeah.
Coming out of the movie, my general thoughts were that it was okay. It was basically exactly what I was expecting from the trailers.
Well, you were kind of hesitant on the what do they call him?
Yes, I was
the
hesitant
little guy, alien.
to embrace this little alien fella who's voiced by Kumanji. I can never
a really
remember
funny
that
guy.
guy's name. He's a really great actor and a really funny guy. He's on Portlandia, which I love. And also The Big Sick. Have you seen The Big Sick?
I haven't seen that yet. No.
Great
I need
movie.
to see that.
But yeah, for something in the trailers, the way his scenes were cut together in the trailer,
It was very forced laughter.
it was very forced.
Yeah.
And it didn't land.
Mm-mm.
In the movie, he's a little better. He's charming, I guess. I wouldn't say like he steals the show or anything, like
Right.
the little porg in Chewie's porg flying the Millennium Falcon in The Last Jedi. But he was fine. He didn't ruin the movie.
Okay. Well, that's good at least. So the director is F. Gary Gray.
Yeah.
I'd never really heard of him besides this. I looked him up on
meant to look him
Letterboxd,
up.
but
Did
none
he
of the movies really stood
Yeah,
out.
what had he done
I
before?
don't even remember. I haven't seen him. So there might have been a
Right.
few that you did. So
I'd like to see who wrote it as well.
So overall, yeah, I would say for my side, it's the same thing. I came into this movie a lot more negative than Corey did because I loved the first one. And then the rest of them were just whatever.
I love the first one. I actually, now that I think about it, I had the first one on VHS with this like holographic cover.
You did? Nice.
Yeah. And I used to watch it all the time. Wow.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's just a franchise that it's kind of like I said in the other movie, in the other review, why?
Well, money.
I mean, money, yes. But I heard it's not even opening that well. I'm curious to see how it does this weekend. But I mean, I'm sure it'll make money. But it just seems like Sony's kind of pulling names out of hats at this point, at least to me.
Well, every studio is. They have to bank on these franchises with a fan base.
True.
Because they know people will show up to go watch the movies.
Right.
Because, as much as people say they want original movies, they don't go out to watch them when they're released.
I want original movies back, but that's just me. Granted, I will go see Toy Story 4 at this point, so I guess I can't say that.
Honestly, there's original movies coming out every weekend too.
Mm-hmm.
They're just not your big blockbuster hits.
Yep. And and Corey and I were talking about this too. I mean, basically, we're thinking about shifting gears more towards non-blockbusters.
Yes.
Because, I mean, it's just the blockbusters are not hitting high notes
The
anymore.
Dead Don't Die is what we should have just gone and seen.
We should have done it.
But times didn't match up.
Yep.
But yeah, I can't remember if I like this one better than Men in Black 3, which was the worst of the first three.
Josh Brolin was in that.
Yes, he was actually the best part of
Was
those.
he? Okay.
But I mentioned this in our before and after thoughts. I think the creatures and aliens are so much more colorful and pretty, which I remember in the first one. There was the squid baby.
Right.
The weird
I
looking.
forgot about that. Yeah.
Hilarious scene. Obviously, the villain is the
disgusting looking
cockroach dude.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah.
that's who that is. Yeah.
I thought you
totally
meant like he
didn't
cameoed
realize
in this
that.
movie, and I'm like, I didn't
Yeah.
see that.
No, not this one. But he's the villain in the first one, which is crazy.
Compared to what he's doing now, yeah, it is really crazy.
Yeah, well, it doesn't even look like him now. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, it gave me a Fantastic Beasts vibe, which I'm not too keen on those movies.
Yeah.
Not that the creatures weren't cool. It just didn't match the aesthetic of the other movies.
Well, it was a lot brighter. The color correction, the color in the movie in Men in Black
Yes.
International was a lot brighter, and I think you even mentioned this. I agree with you. It's like Avatar, almost. It's all these creatures have to look really.
I don't think I mentioned that.
Elegant.
But
oh,
yes,
really? Okay.
You're
Well,
right.
then that popped up in my head. It's kind of everything. Every creature can't really be ugly now. Not creatures can't even really be ugly.
I love the ugly creatures. Yes. And yeah, like the little
Cricket guys.
Crickets? Yeah, is that what you want to call them? They were in this one briefly.
Yeah. It's kind of a callback.
They're
to the original.
like slimy little.
Yeah. Well,
creeps.
off of that, let's dive into it. So we're getting into spoiler territory. So beware. Now is your warning. But we're just going to kind of go through the
spoiler
movie.
alert up.
Yep. Done. So we're just going to kind of go through and break down each scene. So it opens up, and it's pretty exciting, actually. They're in Paris. Liam Neeson and Chris Hemsworth are in Paris, and they're going up and fighting against the Hive, basically. But then this is where, just starting off the comments, really, it just felt jarring how it didn't show what happened, and then it's like 20 years earlier. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know what your thoughts were.
I don't know. I thought that was all right.
Really?
Because I knew they were hiding something.
Okay.
Which is the purpose of that scene,
yeah.
I think. So, yeah, obviously they see the Hive coming out and they start shooting them, and you don't know what happens. And then you're told that they defeated the Hive, a little later in the movie, you find that out.
Right.
But you realize, well, we didn't get to see that, so I'm sure something else went down.
Well, and but like in terms of it going back 20 years after that, to me it would have made more sense to start with the 20 years ago, or just when she's younger and then go 20 years later and then go right into the action. But maybe that's just my taste and my thought in terms of the flow of the movie.
Yeah, gotcha. The flow was a little weird.
Yeah,
because they introduce what's her name, Molly.
Yeah.
Right then, it was weird.
Mm-hmm.
It was weird introing her just right after that.
Which
scene.
to me, do that, introduce the Men in Black then, and then just go into when she's older. And this is Tessa Thompson who plays Molly.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with that. Because it was, 2016?
Yep.
And then like 2000 or whatever.
Yeah, 20 years ago.
Roughly.
And then it goes up to 2019, I think.
Which is only 3 years after 2016.
So that's where it kind of felt a little weird. But I mean, that's nitpicking, I think, at this point. So then it sets up Molly's character.
By the way, there was a funny little gag that I thought was kind of going to be ongoing with Chris Hemsworth at the beginning of the movie when he falls down the elevator or something, and then he has to like climb his way back up. Oh. I don't know. I thought it was funny. And
yeah, I mean, Chris Hemsworth was great in this movie. Yes, I'll just say that. So was Tessa Thompson. Liam Neeson did what he does best.
Without them, there's no reason to go and see this movie.
Agreed.
If you ask me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then it introduces Molly, going back to the story now, when she's younger, and there's some sort of little blue, cute looking creature that sets up for later on.
Right.
I thought that was a well done scene. To me, it makes the Men in Black look very dumb, though. Like, oh, she's sleeping. It's fine. That's what the parents said. So we'll neuralize the parents and leave her.
I know. Yeah. But like, how many other people are out there that didn't get neuralized? Yeah. So.
But that was enough. I think it was off to a really good start, a fun start. And then it correct me. Then, I don't know. Take it from here, Corey, because I'm actually struggling where it goes next.
Well, it goes into
2019.
It jumps ahead to Molly, I guess, and where she is.
And she's interviewing
job
at the
interviews.
FBI, that's right.
Which I thought was, I saw where they were going with it. It was a little corny at times and cheesy, but I guess that fits Men in Black a little bit.
Yeah.
What do you think of her finding Men in Black? Did you like that part of it?
I thought it was interesting. I would have preferred, like, they set her up to be this really incredibly smart person, yet very siloed to herself. but it's
Yeah.
kind of just like she's just all of a sudden this incredible hacker and can hack into satellites and stuff like that. I didn't really
Yeah.
understand fully what was going on, but it was just setting up the
Okay.
fact. But when they found Men in Black, I thought that was actually kind of funny. The what was the name of that alien that came back? Bob or something like that.
Oh yeah. What was with that guy, Frank?
Yeah, Frank. That's what it was.
It was
Because I
so
I
random.
thought that was actually pretty funny.
That was.
That was when I chuckled.
Yeah, they had little things.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would have liked to see more of that.
Right.
Frank, weird,
Like showing up randomly
looked
throughout
like
the movie.
a melted version of those little aliens you'd get in a 25-cent machine.
Oh, yeah.
Anyone when you were a kid?
Yeah.
You ever get those
Uh-huh.
little green guys? You set
And
them
little
up.
balls, right? And then, but
And
yeah,
then
they
the
had the
little
big black
ninjas,
guys
too.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, the black guys,
Yeah.
the thugs, or
Yeah.
homies or something. That's
Really?
what they call them. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Side note: they're called.
Isn't
the
that
homies.
what you were talking about?
No. Which one? Which one are you talking about?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
There were all types of little toys when I was a kid.
Oh, I thought you were on the. Okay, I thought you were in the movie. Sorry.
Oh no.
Side note.
Sorry.
Yes, the little homies. Anyways,
Anyways, how did we get here?
back on course.
Little
Corey.
homies.
So they introduce then that she finds the Men in Black. She follows them and the taxi driver. But all the stuff in this movie, I will say everything that made Men in Black like feel like Men in Black, I didn't feel like was in this
Yes.
movie. So they just kind of glazed over a lot of the stuff,
Yeah.
and that's what I loved most about. But it was nice. It was fine. She found him. It was funny. I really liked who's the actress that is like the head of MIB. in
Oh,
that
Emma
part?
Thompson.
Yes, she
Yeah.
did great. I wish she was
Yeah,
in
she
this
was
movie
good.
more.
So that's right. What branch was this?
That was in New.
Was it the
New
New York?
I think so.
And which branch was Will Smith?
London. Oh no. He was New York. Sorry, I thought you were saying
Okay.
Liam Neeson. So it goes through that, and it was a good setup. But then it flips to Chris Hemsworth and that whole weird casino snake scene.
Yes. See, because they like cut at the beginning of the movie and then went back and then went forward again. Part of me thought he had been kicked out of
Oh,
the
of
Men in
MIB,
Black.
yeah.
I wasn't sure. I was like, so is he in Men in Black or is he not?
Yeah.
But yeah, there was that scene where he wakes up in bed.
Well,
What'd
he's
you
like,
think
I'll
of
do
that?
anything for the antidote.
Right.
I thought again, just like I didn't really laugh that much in this movie. That was just
Right.
me.
Mm-hmm.
All of the jokes, including that, just fell flat. I
Right.
thought it was just like,
Yeah.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
And-
It was trying to be funny.
It went on a little long
Yes.
after that.
I
where he
did
kinda
chuckle at when he
sneaks up.
goes,
Yes, that's what
That
I was
was
gonna
kinda
say.
funny,
Yeah,
but-
pulling the
yeah.
suction cup
the octopus
off
arm.
off
yeah.
his chest
gross.
was pretty funny.
But again, yeah, all the CGI was so bright for those
But,
characters and stuff.
I mean,
but-
we have to see Chris Hemsworth shirtless.
yes,
I
every
mean,
time, ever
come
since
on.
Thor.
That's
And
why
yeah,
they had it in
That's
there.
why I went to see this movie. Okay, we're good.
Which is that's clearly the reason that was in there.
Yeah. But yeah, we're nitpicking, I think, a lot, but to go back and that's what we're supposed to do with these parts. But Tessa Thompson and Liam Hemsworth is it Liam's? Chris Hemsworth. Liam is his brother.
Oh yeah.
Chris Hemsworth did incredible jobs with what they were given. So, I
Yeah.
felt like it was kind of
Mhm.
like watching funny Thor throughout the entire thing, pretty much.
Right.
Although I didn't laugh.
I
very
know
much, but
he's really come into this personality of his.
Yeah.
Like how he talks.
I think it was probably his natural personality. Marvel just didn't know he was funny when
Yeah.
they first hired him. So keeping it going. Then there's a montage at that casino scene. It was fine. He slept with that woman to get the antidote, and then pretty much him and Tessa Thompson then team up. She lies to him, that sort of thing. Is there anything worth noting in between?
What
that?
do you think of Dungus, or what was his name?
The guy that they had to like entertain?
Right. Yeah. What do you think of him?
I thought his personality was like a slingshot. He was really funny at first and kind of just this
Right.
creepy alien. Then all of a sudden he's super serious.
Yeah.
And he's like
I know. That's the thing with this movie, I think. Like,
inconsistent
It-
writing.
moved too fast,
Mhm.
and it didn't know what it had with certain
Right.
characters and funny moments,
Mhm.
like that alien
What is his name?
coming to Earth.
Yeah.
I
Frank.
forgot
Yeah.
it. Frank. An alien named Frank. It looks like
Yeah.
this big green blob.
And for some
person.
reason isn't allowed here anymore.
No, I was just stopping in. Or he's not allowed to come to Earth.
Right. So
More
yeah.
of that guy. Why didn't we have Dingus? Can't remember his name.
We're just gonna call him Dingus.
More
the
of
rest
this guy.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, we had a
I
lot,
thought
but
he
then
was charismatic, and like the CGI I thought of
was pretty well done. Yeah.
was pretty well done.
Mhm.
I noticed CGI of like the more main characters
Mhm.
was so much more polished than like
Yeah.
just some other random aliens
Which-
that are in it for
yeah.
one scene, which makes
I wonder
sense.
what the budget was for this, but either way. So
Yeah.
then they're assigned to that mission to oversee him. He's kind of a creepy guy. Then all of a sudden the Hive shows up. And side note about the Hive, just to get out of, I thought their introduction was kind of cool. And
Yeah.
the two characters playing them could have been a lot more with it, I
Yes,
think.
of
But then
course.
it's just, again, glazed over, and they're just kind of a
Once again,
faceless
we get
villain.
like faceless, emotionless villains.
Whereas if you compare it to Men in Black, that guy was great. I loved it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was
better.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Actually.
So-
but yeah, they looked cool. Like
Yeah.
the
The whole dance
whole
move scenes or
nebula.
whatever.
Oh yeah. The whole nebula galaxy
Mhm.
look, and then their eyes.
Mhm.
They looked pretty awesome
Right.
when they did that stuff.
Yeah. So then he gets killed. The guy, Dingus, hands off this weapon to
Stinking
Tessa
Dingus.
Thompson. For some reason, can see that he's trustworthy. She's trustworthy because it was established that they can read emotion or
Mhm.
something like that,
Yeah.
and it was established that Chris Hemsworth was different at that point,
Right.
which I could tell from a mile away at that point. So, moving along, what in terms of what happened next? Is there anything of note that you wanted to discuss? Because it pretty much just moves along at that point. Not a
Yeah.
lot to call out.
What was I gonna say? Dingus, the villains. What did you think of little Hani?
Is it Pawn? He's
Or-
Pawn. A Pawnee
when
is what
did
they
when
call him.
did you catch on that Liam Neeson was the villain? Did
I-
you think it was the other guy?
No, because
At
whenever
all?
they shove, what's his name? Was it Agent C or something? Yeah, it was Agent C. Because whenever they said Agency, it
Yeah.
sounded like that.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't notice that.
But he was too obvious of a choice
Right,
to be the
'Cause
villain.
they call him out as being the
Yes.
mole, so it was like, well, obviously.
And
it's
again,
not him.
it goes back to just cliche writing. Is
Mhm.
they make you feel, oh, this Liam Neeson, he was, he's like a father figure to him. Obviously, something's going to
Mhm.
happen that he's going to betray. So
Yeah.
it was.
It was
there.
predictable,
Yeah.
and especially because we didn't, it cut at the beginning of the movie,
Mhm.
so it's like, yeah, obviously he's the villain now.
Yep.
Became very evident.
And then then they go and
What
they find.
did you think of Chris Hemsworth's old lover with the forearms?
I didn't really like it.
No,
It seemed
not at all.
weird. I thought it was interesting at first, but then it turned into it's a bad guy in a different setting that doesn't always totally make sense.
I think the fight was pretty cool, and like
Really?
how they used her arms.
Yeah.
I thought
And the way they
looked
cut the
pretty
fights
cool.
between
Yeah.
that. So
I love Rebecca Ferguson. She's
Yeah.
the actress. She's from
Men in
Rogue
Black.
Nation.
she's from Men in
Uh,
Black. She's from Rogue Nation.
Yeah,
and,
she is. Different
Fallout.
MI.
Yes.
Mission Impossible. So I always enjoy seeing her, but again, like
it
again,
didn't.
it was so short.
Yeah.
Like
And then they just
these
fought.
characters
Are
you-
not established.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
not established
Mhm.
at all. And they just kind of gloss over him. Could have been something like they could have had these characters. I don't know. They could have saved some of these
Mhm.
characters for other movies
Right.
and built a whole story around
Yep.
them.
Or
and
just
then
focus
kept-
more in on them because
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
that's the thing is I was
Focus
interested
in
those
on
characters,
like
right? Yeah.
one or two,
Mhm.
and then save maybe the forearm girl for the sequel.
Yep.
Because it's interesting going into. It could have been interesting diving into Hemsworth's past with her.
Yeah,
but
but it was
just
glazed over
happens
in
too
2
quick.
minutes, and then all of a sudden she's like,
And
kill him.
then back to her bodyguard creature
Yeah.
that Tessa Thompson's character.
Yeah.
met
Turns
as
out
a
that the
kid.
bodyguard was the little creature that she saved when she was.
I
a
thought it
little
was
kid
pretty
or something.
funny. It was a chuckle when
Yeah, it was a
you
chuckle.
find out what he said.
Yeah.
But
I will murder. What is
and,
it like?
and I
tear
know
off-
you're not supposed to take this movie that seriously, but it felt
Sure.
like a Martha moment.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Martha.
And
all of a sudden he just turns on her, even though he's been like with her for forever.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There was no. I mean, it was kind of a payoff, but that's another thing. It's the same with this Pawnee guy. It's like, what's the point of all these characters
Right.
besides that one moment, right?
Yeah.
The side characters, the main characters, I got what their intentions were and stuff like
They're
that.
just
So
kind of plot devices
Mhm.
where they just kind of hang around
Yep.
until there's
say
a
something
need
witty,
for them,
maybe.
apparently.
Yeah. So anyways, then that's kind of fast forwarding, but that was pretty much where it got exciting again. You know, they go to the desert, they get the little dude, they find out that it's a weapon, and then it gets stolen from them from the beard alien guy, which was weird and interesting, but again, forgettable.
That purple, that was one of my least favorite parts of the movie, was when the beard
the beard alien
pops out of the thermos and takes the weapon and just takes off. It was so out of left field to me.
Well, and again, it was a way to move the plot forward and them to go to this different place, which again, like, I know I keep calling back to Men in Black, but Men in Black was very focused on New York. I want to say, I'm probably butchering that. It's probably somewhere else, but who knows?
I think it's New York.
And one villain, one character, and stuff like that. So, so then, anyways, it's established that, okay, cool, you know, they won, and then something feels off after they get the weapon back. They defeat the four-armed Chris Hemsworth former lover, and they get and then something feels off, and that was when the movie was like, okay, this movie could have been over a while ago. And then pretty much Liam Neeson's bad. Anything else of note between that point? I'm sure there is.
Not a great boss fight.
Oh, right. Well, then it turns out that the two twins that were the Hive weren't actually the Hive. They were a planet that the Hive was going to destroy.
I mean, they just glossed over that, too. It was like, oh, well, yeah, or they weren't even the Hive at all, or they were, or something. And I was just like,
it was a glaze over.
I don't really care.
With characters that they didn't establish, again, with villains that they didn't establish, and then Liam Neeson. Again, they could have explored the father figure a lot more, I think, between him and Chris Hemsworth, but they didn't, and he turned into it was kind of a cool looking monster, I thought. Yeah, the Hive. But
they left a lot on the table, and this is what annoys me with blockbusters, is that I don't think they take enough time to write these movies.
No,
because again, they had a lot of good ideas on the table for this movie, but they're just not fleshed out, or it's like. This movie feels like it was written by like 3 different writers, or it
probably
went
was.
through. Yeah,
a lot of revisions.
It probably was
heavily produced.
They probably brought in a writer. Someone did a treatment there, brought in another one, took that script. Oh, let's do this.
Yep. So then Tessa Thompson gets sucked into that little wormhole thing. Yep. And then again, this is why the little dude was there, because the whole time I was asking why Pawnee was there is to save his queen or whatever. I don't know. We're kind of glazing over that, but again, he served no purpose besides that. I thought he was kind of funny, but again, it has to do with the writing. It had nothing to do with the actor who voiced him.
It was so forced, like Tessa gets
it's
thrown
almost like
in
they
there.
added him in after.
She gets thrown in there for like 2 seconds.
Yep. And then she has a flashback montage of stuff that happened 2 minutes ago, which didn't make any sense. And then she destroys, and then they win, and then Chris Hemsworth gets to take over London, whatever.
And they give each other like really meaningful looks, like, do I love her?
Is that what it was? Is it a love thing? I couldn't tell.
I know. I was thrown off by it too. It was like, oh wait, I'm gonna miss her. I'm gonna miss him.
Yeah. Again, in their relationship, I could have bought because they spent a lot of time together.
But at the same time, it was like there was nothing romantic between them at all, and she gives him a ride at the end, and it's like,
dun 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 dun. I like this. The soundtrack was good. So, as you can tell, we didn't really. It was okay. Yeah. I have a lot more nitpicks and dislikes about it because I'm fully admitting this because I'm holding on to what Men in Black was.
Yeah.
But
no, I completely see your point of view. But overall, I was just somewhere in the middle, I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't
go and see it if you want.
It's completely inoffensive as a movie. But sometimes you need a little offensiveness.
Yeah. It's just it's more of the same. It's if you like predictable movies with somewhat likable characters, go see it.
So I mean, to sum up, I think they had a lot of good ideas. Kind of squandered them.
Yes.
Interesting characters here and there, but
also squandered.
Never live up to their potential.
Yeah. Or just thrown to the side when I was more interested in some of the characters than the side characters than the main characters.
And also very predictable.
Yes.
the beginning and the ending. You know, there's the middle is there just as fluff in between the beginning and the end.
Right.
Is what it feels like sometimes.
Right.
There's, you know, a MacGuffin that gets tossed around pretty much through the whole middle of the movie.
Yep.
And that's all it is. But some chuckles in there.
I think you laughed more than I did, but I was probably sitting there like the grumpy old man, like, this movie is terrible.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's
grump.
Fine. I'm a grump. That's fine. So with that, what did you guys think? I hope if you've ever seen it, if you're going to see it based off of this recommendation, let us know what you guys thought in the comments.
Do you disagree?
Yeah. And if you do disagree, we welcome that the most because everybody's entitled to their opinion. That's what we love about movies is everybody interprets them differently.
That's right.
Including us too.
And I love being able to hear different opinions on movies, especially when I don't like a movie and then I hear people that do and they say, oh, well, did you see this? Did you see this in the movie, this theme that they carried throughout the movie? And I'm like, oh, I didn't see that. Maybe I'll give it another shot.
Yeah. Would you see anybody say, did you see this theme in Men in Black International?
We'll see.
Yeah. Fingers
Maybe
crossed.
someone watching. Maybe it's you.
Let us know.
But yeah. So our rating.
Yep.
Just so you know, we've got a rating system somewhat. Thumbs down. Thumb middle.
And thumbs up.
And thumbs up. So.
Countdown
Men
from
in Black International.
3, 2, 1.
1.
And I'm going to slightly go down like that. I don't know.
I'm right in the middle.
Cool. Well, thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it. Again, hit that subscribe button if you liked what you saw. And
that's right.
Stay tuned for more Losers content. Thanks, everyone.
Peace.